out my escape route. Anyway, this tree apparently has come down, it's blocked the footpath. We can still get past, but it is completely blocking the path. It was all going so well, and then now they've locked me in. So hopefully I can get all these done before it gets dark. Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening. For me it's Monday morning, and it's the start today of a new felling course. And I'm looking for the candidates because I found 2 of them, but I can't find the other 2, so I'm just coming back down to the gate to see if they've arrived late. Switch it off, yeah, that's all the checks done. So I want it to go that way. Everything 180 degrees of that then becomes off limits when you start filling it. Okay, so I'm going to just draw that line on the floor here. And another one over here. But this line on your saw is at a 90-degree angle to the bar. So if you're looking down that, you should be aiming in the right direction. Okay, and the position that you want to be in when you're cutting, it's kind of leaning up against the tree a little bit. Yeah, because if you're trying to support yourself, well, if you're using the tree to help you stand up, it's just taking some of the strain off your legs and that. Yeah, so you just want to be here, and when I'm positioned like this, I can look. See, like I'm pretty much in line with that still badge, but I can look straight down that line. So just because a tree doesn't go crashing down doesn't mean that you just keep cutting your hinge. Yeah, so you always stop where you put your marks. I'll get my felling lever in, just lift straight back. Getting a hang up like this is part of your assessment. Now on your assessment you need to do 1 standard fell and 1 of the other 3 cuts. One of those 2 fells needs to be a hang up, and they need to see how you deal with it properly. Okay, if I roll it to the left, it's just going to get more stuck. If I roll it to the right, it might just fall into that gap. Yeah, so in order to do that, I need to do the hinge reduction, which is an 80% removal of the hinge. So from this side, what I'm going to do is just take passes out of that hinge, but I'm only going for about 5% each time until I get to 80%. So I'm going to cut straight from the back out the front of the gob. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until I get to 80%. 8%. Check it, just have a stand back. Yeah, so don't want to go any more than that, definitely not. So if you if you tried rolling it and rolling it and rolling it and it's still not coming, you need to find yourself a bit of a stick like this. You literally use this to walk it back. So you've got to try and manipulate it where you want it. So that's a wrap for day one. The candidates, I've got 4 candidates, and they're all fairly new to tree wood, and a few of them haven't used the chainsaw since they last did their cross-cutting courses, which was, you know, last year. So in an ideal world, what I like to normally do in the first day is standard fell and a split level, but it's not that they're doing bad or anything, it's just obviously it's a lot of new information for them. So tomorrow we'll focus on the split level, and if I can squeeze in the dog's tooth as well, I will do. And then on Wednesday we'll throw in the Danish pie as well, for good measure. Yeah, good day in general. Got some nice standard fell cuts out of them, so hopefully we will see some nice split levels tomorrow. If I was going to standard fell, I'm going to anticipate this is going to sit back on me, so I'm not going to put standard fell in. So this is where you do the split level, when it's leaning away from the direction of the lean. When I come to cut my back cut now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in 2/3 all the way up to my hinge. And the reason is for that is you're leaving 1/3 of good wood to stop it from sitting back. Does everyone understand that? So once I've cut that 2/3, I'm going to come forward and I'm going to set my hinge, okay, at 10%. And then I'm going to put my felling lever into the tree. So I'm going to keep it nice and flat, transfer my weight from my left foot to my right foot until I've set my hinge. The only difference I'm doing here is I'm slightly dropping the tip of my saw so it goes underneath that bar. Out my escape route. So it can be upright or slightly away from the lean. Yeah? It might be leaning that way, but all our timber and all our stacks that way. So we don't want to fell it that way because it's going to cause us more manual labour. Yeah. So we want to fell it that way. Or it could be a fence or an obstacle or another tree or whatever. You might just have a nice gap, like this, straight through the gap, wouldn't it? Yeah. So what we want to try and do is aim it where it's going to make our life easier and cause us less manual labour. Okay, so the reason why we do a dog's tooth cut is because when something's heavily leaning forward, like this one, yeah, if we were just to put a standard fell in it, you could get what's called a barber chair. And if you just went for a standard fell on something that's as heavily leaning as this, before you've got a chance to cut to the 10% hinge, it might already go. Once a tree's barber chaired, this is why you don't put your head behind the tree, because if it does split, it's going to hit you straight in the head. But not only that, if that was to come down properly, this piece here normally lifts up in the air. When we get back to my iPad, I'll show you some videos. Lifts up into the air, and then it can come down. It normally comes crashing down in this area. So this is why we would use on a leaning tree. This is why we use a dog's tooth cut. So let's go and find a suitable tree that I can do it with. check my boots, I'm not too far off my mark on that side. What do you reckon? We don't go under. Which way? Not bad. Okay, and that's because I didn't look around, did I? No. All I was doing is I was in this position. I was far enough over here, and I could see. I was looking down the middle of my gob cut, and I could see that the angle of that is the same angle as the gob. Yeah. And because I've marked it there, and I know my bar's straight and parallel to the gob cut, I'm pretty confident to say that that was on the mark over there. Yeah. Then I've come back, and I've left 20% at the back. It is nice when it goes well, yeah. Like that. Approximately 50%, and then go straight out the back. Okay. So we're going to try this one with wedges, just so you can see wedges in action. Just stick one in there, okay, so I can see that's where that one is, and then stick another one in there. So that's all that's left to cut. I'm not going too far in, so all I'm doing is just coming under that stick and under that stick. That's all I need to do. Okay, so that's now detached. Sorry. So just going to get my wedges knocked in a bit. Okay, job done. Day 3 done of the 3-day course. Got all the cuts done, so standard fell, split level, Danish and dog's tooth. And yeah, it went alright. It's obviously been quite hot, so it's nice. Obviously I do like working in the heat, I prefer that than the rain anyway. But yeah, so back to work tomorrow. I think Thursday, Friday this week I've got some quotes to do basically all day. It's going to take me probably both days. It's for a local authority that we work for, and they've got like kind of their work orders that they dish out for the year, scheduled works, and we've got to go competing on that. So the next few days is going to be a lot of driving and a lot of quoting, so maybe do a little video for that, for the vlog. There's a red kite literally flying massive. So it's Thursday now, and I am a little bit behind schedule because I was meant to be quoting all day today. Plan was to go to the gym first thing, and then come get all these quotes done. There's about 70 or 80 trees to do, but yeah, morning didn't go as planned. Problem is, when you do training and assessing, you have to be present, you know, not just physically but mentally with the candidates at all times. They're not experienced chainsaw operators, so you can't really take your eyes off them for 5 minutes and try and do some work. You know, they paid for a course, so it's not really fair for me to, kind of not pay the attention that I should do really, and as a result, because it's quite far away, my workload just tends to build up and up until I get a day in the office, which was obviously this morning. And so I started going through my emails first thing this morning, and then just got caught up into one thing and then another thing. Bloody had somebody come to have a look at a crane job, the crane company, and who we normally use, and they said that something's changed with their insurance, so they can't do it on a contract lift anymore because they're not the ones slinging it up. But from my understanding, the slinger doesn't have to sling it up, they just need to be there to make sure the crane doesn't tip over. We wouldn't expect them to, you know, tie it onto the tree anyway, so I don't really understand that. Anyway, I managed to find a new crane company that's prepared to do it, and I'm going to meet him tomorrow morning. Just need to get through these quotes now, so I will keep you posted if there's any updates and anything interesting to look at. I've just had a call from the local council, and they've just said that the trees come down in the local park. It's a shame because I was actually in that park this morning putting some water bags around the trees that we've recently planted for them. So anyway, this tree apparently has come down, it's blocked a footpath. I said, can it be done in the morning? He said, ideally not. So I've rang around the lads, and obviously because it's been a hot day today, one of them's just finished and he's got a haircut, so he don't really fancy it. Another one's just come back from a stag do in Portugal yesterday, so he's not up for it. Same, and I've had another one in Lisbon, I think he was actually, they're both in Portugal. So he's saying he's not feeling too fresh for it. And then can't get hold of anybody else, so I'm just going to go and scope it out, and if I can get the footpath clear on my own, I will do, because I've got all my PPE and everything, and then we'll just come back to it in the morning, get it finished off. So yeah, nothing ever really goes to plan, does it? I'm falling behind mad badly on these quotes, but I've got till the 8th of May to try and get them done, so it's not the end of the world. I just don't want to leave it last minute. Anyway, I'll show you when I get to this this next site.
Bacon Bad Boy, which is double burger, candy bacon, chipotle mayo.
Right.
Feeling Blue is the one with the blue cheese and the fried onions.
Yeah. Well, I've just pulled up to the park now just to see what's going on with this tree. Yeah, so people can still get past, but it is completely blocking the path. I think what I'll do is I'll just get my chainsaw trousers on, I think, and clear it off the path, and then at least we can come and chip it in the morning. It's not really ideal at 5:20 when I've got a takeaway on the way, but it is what it is, isn't it? Got to keep them happy, so we'll get it done. Yeah, right, so I'll get the path. It done now. I haven't got a blower with me, so I can't blow this path off, but yeah, it's off the path now. We'll come back in the morning or so and just get it all chipped up, get all the wood taken away. Yeah, and I am desperate for a drink. Anyway, I've got to pick up that burger from the burger van in a minute, and I've just seen the gate and I've been locked in. That's not good.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for. This is the Vodafone voicemail service for. Oh.
It was all going so well, and then now they've locked me in. The park keeper must have. I thought they must have left the gate open for me, but then I've come back down and it's all been barriered up, and I haven't got the key with me because we have got a key for the parks, but it's in the other van. So at the minute I am stuck, and I'm going to be late to get my burger. So I'm waiting for a call back to see what's going on. It's now Bank Holiday Monday. Obviously on Friday I didn't get around to my quotes. Today's now the 5th and I've only got until the 8th to actually get those quotes in by. So I've started using a slightly different tactic. I'm trying to quote as much of them as I can from the desktop, so I can just look on Google Maps. I mean, the problem is some of the images are from 2022, so I've obviously got to account for at least another 2 years growth, because it's not, obviously we're only at the start of this year's growth season. So and also, yeah, you can't always get the best gauge from Google Maps, so it is a bit of a gamble, but it'd be more of a gamble to try and fit this all in before the 8th, because I just don't have enough time for that. So yeah, unfortunately I'm having to work the bank holiday, but that's just running a business, isn't it, at the end of the day? And people say that you get more freedom, work for yourself because you'll have more freedom, and in some aspects I'd say they're right, but then in a lot of other ways they couldn't be further from the truth. So I've spent a few hours in the office this afternoon. I've basically gone through all of the quotes to look at. I've done what I can from a desktop, but there's obviously some that just need to be looked at in person. So it's now 3:15 on the Bank Holiday Monday still, and I've got 28 stops to look at for these quotes. So that's a lot better than what it would have been without doing what I did in the office, but still it's going to be a long old day. So hopefully I can get all these done before it gets dark and write it all up maybe tomorrow. So yeah. Interesting spot in Stamford. Nice place to work. It's literally 2 trees to come out here. I believe it's this one. It's a black mulberry. It says D stake. Not really any stakes there, but I'm assuming they mean the guards come off for that one. Planted November 2010. Wow, what a beautiful place to work. That is a nice place to work. Right, so I've just literally finished quoting now, and it's 9:25. So I've missed my Sunday dinner, and obviously took a lot longer than what I was hoping, but I've done it all now. So hopefully get that written up, and we'll find out in due time whether we actually get it or not. I might have to just treat myself to a quick cheeseburger on the way home, and we'll start the new work week. So I think I'm pretty much assessing most of the week, so yeah, I'll see you in the next video.